On my last live stream on Twitch, my chat and I got to talking about the new Shaddoll structure deck that might be coming out, given the polls that Konami has done on Twitter and other places. So I took the opportunity to speculate what might be in the starter deck, and this is that speculation. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys see where I'm coming from. I assume it's at least going to have these 13 cards in it as reprints, because most of these haven't really had a reprint in a while, except maybe regular construct. So the question's going to be, what are going to be the ratios of these cards? And are they going to make any new extra deck cards? The answer is going to be yes, they're going to make new extra deck cards. Question is, how many of these old ones are they going to put in? A good link would be nice. So I'm hoping we get a new link monster. I'm also hoping we get a new fusion. So with that hoping, we're going to assume that they're not going to reprint construct, Shaddoll construct. We're also going to assume that they're not going to give us all of these fusions. They're going to pick 3. I think they're going to pick 3, give us a new fusion, and give us a new link. It's my theory. All right, jot this down. Question is, which of these 3 fusions do you think they'll give us? The optimal picks are obviously Winda, Construct, and Shekanaga. And then they give us a new link and a new fusion. And then that's our 5-card extra deck that they've been doing with their starter decks so far, which is a nice thing for them to do. Then they have to pick which of the high-level monsters we're going to get multiples of. I'm going to immediately assume that we're going to get multiples of Hound, because Hound doesn't do anything. I'm also going to assume we're going to get multiples of Squamata and Dragon, because they're the level 4s, and while they both have high attack points, they still really are just pop effects. You know, an evoked boss monster that all attributes, yeah, Shaddoll monster could be like that. That would be cool. Yeah, like our own Elysium. That'd be neat. Are they going to print multiples of the back row cards? Probably not Fusion. Fusion was the... El Shaddoll Fusion was the one that they limited, so we're probably only going to get one of that, if we get any of it. Winda has to, because it's the dark one. That's why I know, like, Winda, definitely. All right? These are the other 2 good ones. Are they going to give us Construct, or are they going to give us Shek? Construct is the face of Shaddolls, and they just unbanned the card. So I assume that we're going to get one of it. Question is, are we going to get one of these mediocre ones, or are we going to get Shek? We're going to assume we're going to get Shek for now. So, and we're going to assume this is the minimum Shaddoll lineup, where it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 Shaddoll monsters. That's not bad. That's not the 9 Shaddoll monsters you want to run, but that's typically the number of Shaddoll monsters a normal person runs. Now, are they going to give us doubles of these back row cards? Probably not the traps, except for maybe Puru Shaddoll, but that's bad, so it doesn't really matter. I think that they would give us 2 Nephi Fusion and leave us one of the other 2. Because Shaddoll Fusion is a fusion from deck card. They're probably not going to print more than one of that. And that's probably going to be one of our higher rarity cards. So I think that the fusion that they'd give us a double of, if they give us a double of any of the fusions, is going to be Nephi Fusion. As much as I don't want it to be Nephi Fusion. And then they might throw in a second Shadow Prison. And so that's probably all of the Shaddoll cards we're going to get. We might get 2 Beast, but I don't think we would. So then it comes down to, what are the other cards that we get? Well, it's probably going to be something along the lines of more Dark Spellcasters or other attribute cards. They could also reprint a new main deck Shaddoll monster. So there's that too. And to represent that, we're just going to put in Zephranaga. I'm not saying we're getting Zephranaga in this deck. We're probably not going to get either of the Zephyra, but we'll say that this is Zephranaga and Zephyr are the 2 potential new main deck Shaddoll monsters we get. So that's like half of a Shaddoll deck right there. Now, what other monsters could they put in? Well, Mathematician is an obvious choice. So they might put in 1, maybe even 2 in here, because Mathematician doesn't see a lot of play anymore. But I'm going to guess 1. I'm going to guess we're only going to get 1, because if they give us the Earth one, they would need an Earth main deck monster. They're also going to have to give us some light main deck monsters. So what are the good generic light main deck monsters? That's a good question. And it's probably Effect Veiler as our arbitrary hand trap, and they might give us 2, but I'll throw in just the 1 for now. Problem with the new Shaddoll support would be that all the current Shaddoll monsters are lore, so... Well, that would be it. They would base their cards off lore. The new Shaddoll monsters are probably going to be reincarnated versions of either, like, the old dual terminal cards. We might even get, like, a Shaddolls Shirit, but I could see them putting in maybe 1 or 2 Lightsworn cards. Like, I could see them throwing in, because it's a flip monster, Raikou. I could see him throwing in Raikou since it's a flip monster. I could also see them throwing in, like, one of the worms. And if I had to guess worm, because worms are all flips and they're light, I would guess Worm Apocalypse because it's a spell and trap pop. We would also they'd probably also give us some extra dark monsters. It would be very wishful thinking to think we would get Armageddon Knight, so we're probably not going to get an Armageddon Knight. We're probably going to get, you know what we could get? They could give us all of the Hex Sealed fusions if this is the fusion lineup. So we could get a reprint of Earth, Dark, and Light, because they would all act as the other attribute. Allure of Darkness reprint, that would be nice. How many do you think they would give us? 1 or 2? So yeah, so that would give us 2 Earths, an extra Dark, assuming that these are our 2 new Shaddoll monsters. That would give us 3 light, 4 lights, 2 earths, and 1 extra dark monster. So we would want to pick out like another earth and another dark monster. As for the earth cards, I can really only think of Mathematician, so they might actually give us the 2 Mathematician and not give us another dark monster because we've already got someone. Dad reprint, unsure though. Ooh, Dad reprint? That was why they unlimited him. They're getting ready. That's actually a good bet. I like that bet. I'm going to throw in the Dad for no other reason than it's funny as hell. Now, for other main deck staples that we would get. If we look at main deck or side deck staples, if we look at like Rocket Structure deck, we got like 5, right? We got Red Reboot, we got Mirror Force. I have the deck in front of me. We got, well, we didn't really, Mirror Force wasn't really in there for a side deck option, and neither was Magic Cylinder, but we got a Twin Twisters, a Red Reboot, and an Imperial Order. So I guess the question is, what are our other side deck options? They probably won't because they just printed them in Dual Devastator, but they could give us other Ghost Girls. What are some other generic support cards? I could see them giving us Dark Eruption, because it's just add one of your lower attack Shaddolls to your hand, which you've really only got the 2-3 targets for, so maybe not, now that I've reread this. Unless they give us, like, the new Shaddolls have those low attack points, so maybe a Dark Eruption. Thanos Dragon and Infinite Impermanence? No way, man. Maybe Infinite Impermanence. They might reprint Infinite Impermanence, but, like, Thanos Dragon has been out too long, man. But I could see them giving us 1 Infinite Impermanence. So that leaves us 8 slots. We've got Shaddoll Zephricor and Zephrinaga acting as our placeholders for a potential new main deck Shaddoll monster. What it's going to be, I don't know. These are what I think our Shaddoll back row cards are our Shaddoll spell trap support's going to be. Dark Eruption is a possibility depending on what these new cards are. And then, of course, the new Link and a new Fusion. Who knows what they're going to be, though. If they don't give us Super Poly, they're going to give us Poly. Like, come on, it's Super Poly. It's regular polymerization. They have to give it to us. Any other random fusion spells, maybe? We'll throw in, like, a couple of generic, like, this is polymerization stuff. Ultra Poly could get a reprint, so we'll throw that in there as in one of the maybes. King of the Swamp. King of the Swamp has to specifically be another card, and if they give us King of the Swamp, then they're going to give us Anoyatilis. So yeah, King of the Swamp would be interesting. It's just that if they give us this, they have to give us Anoyatilis so that there's more of a point for him. Which I'm really hoping they don't do. I'm really hoping they stick with Light, Dark, Earth, because those are the better ones, and most nobody runs these 3 cards. What would they give us for side deck bait? Alistair reprint? No, they're not going to give us Alistair stuff. That would be cool, but they're not going to give us the invoked cards. You'd have to find another way to get your invoked stuff. Cyberstein Poggers. Yeah, they give us Cyberstein. They give us a Cyberstein reprint after we've already found out that Cyberstein is actually a, like, problem in the game. One of the trap holes, that's a good idea. What would be the one that they give us, though? I think Floodgate Trap Hole. I want to say they give us another draw spell, like a pot card. I could see Pot of Duality. I could see them giving us a Duality reprint, or hell, maybe even a Pot of Desires reprint. Are there any other generic, like, flip effect, like, benefiting cards? Second Allure. Yeah. But there's so many other attributes. Yeah, because there's so many other attributes in here that I would think that they might reprint Allure. Because you only have, like, only 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12, 13 of your theoretical deck are dark monsters. So that would be an interesting thing for them to say you want to run. I bet we're going to get a Spell and Trap Destruction reprint. And I think it's just going to be Mystical Space Typhoon. But no, I think we're going to get like a Mystical Space Typhoon or a copy of some other Spell and Trap Destruction effect. That's it. We got 5 more cards I got to think of. Just regular old Typhoon or Mystical Wind Typhoon. Or no, the Trap card Typhoon. Target a spell or trap on the field, destroy it. Opponent controls 2 more spell trap cards, and you control no, you can activate this card from your hand. That would be an interesting tech, yeah. Okay, Typhoon. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 traps. I don't think they'd give us any more traps than that. I think the rest of this is going to be spell cards. Question is, what spell cards? Soul Reversal, but I doubt it. Soul Reversal. Return 1 flip effect monster from your graveyard to the top of your deck. You know what? That is a good pick. Book of Moon. Book of Moon would be a really cool reprint. Book of Moon would be a really cool reprint. Probably also get, in that case, Book of Tao, and that's you know what? This is probably it. This is probably all I could think of, yeah. The 3 book cards, Book of Eclipse, Book of Tao, as your flip effect support. The 2 Shaddoll fusions, unless they give us a new one, which would probably replace the Nephi fusion. Poly is my lowball guess. I really hope they give us Super Poly, but I don't know if they are. If they give us Super Poly, this deck is going to be like a no-brainer purchase for everybody, just because it has Super Poly in it. 2 Allure I still think is wishful, but still less wishful than a Super Poly. MST is just your placeholder for generic spell trap support destruction. Glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious.